Hi, I'm Eric Bjorn. I've written 10 books, which you can find on Amazon. Today I'm going to be reading from one of my favorite books, Uber Nights. I was a rideshare driver in Columbia, South Carolina for 5 years, and boy oh boy was it an adventure. You never know when a naked lady or chickens are going to show up in your rideshare. Well, today I'm going to read to you a special story from Uber Nights called The Parable of the Little Caesar. The Parable of the Little Caesar. Today is Labor Day. I could have taken the night off, but if you do the rideshare nights thing long enough, you know there are a lot of folks out there, laborers, in need of a helping hand. Factory workers, fast food workers, service industry workers, etc. The job isn't all naked women with toothbrushes, although honestly, even adult entertainers need a transportation helping hand, which I'm happy to lend. I wish I had $1 for every time I picked up a fatigued gas station employee who has been sitting outside their locked facility for an hour plus in the wee small hours of the morning, waiting on a rideshare Good Samaritan to show up. As some of these vignettes have detailed, this job often toes the line between drunk student babysitter, confession glove box counselor, and whipping boy. Tonight's shift is all about public service. I did take off a good bit of time today to do the holiday grilling thing with the family. When everyone had finished gorging themselves on charred flesh and baked beans with freshly smoked bacon, I hopped in the maroon Rocinante and shouted, "Hi-ho!" First ride of the night was a Little Caesar's pizza place. I noticed the ride was scheduled in advance and that I was going to arrive about 10 minutes before the pickup time. This means twiddling my thumbs outside the joint, not getting paid to wait on a ride that's going to pay about $5 for 20 minutes of my time. In essence, the night begins with a very labor-unfriendly time sink. Even worse, passenger 1 hops in Rossi well in advance of passenger 2. So now I have to make small talk for 10 minutes when I'd much rather be singing loudly to myself to a Simple Minds tune. Even worse, passenger 1, who has identified herself as Nanette, comes bearing 2 quite large Little Caesar's pizzas, plus 2 small containers that likely are stuffed with faux chicken wings and coronary art disease cheese bread. I might look like a man who blows up the BMI, but honestly, I haven't eaten fast food in 15 years. These kind of barely edibles make me vomit on olfactory impact. Then the great gesture occurs. Nanette passes the entire corpus of cardboard cuisine into the front seat. "Happy Labor Day! Thank you so much for working tonight. We wanted you to have something special." There is almost nothing worse than being on the receiving end of an unwanted gift put forward with great generosity, especially when said gift makes you involuntarily upchuck. "Thank you so much," I falsely gush, whilst reaching desperately for any conversation topic to pass the time while we continue to wait on passenger 2, who Nanette refers to as GM Deborah. Finally, GM Deborah graces the back seat with her presence. I repeat my indebtedness to their holiday generosity. Our destination? The local Waffle House. The very excreta stench of sewage breakfast meats one detects in the parking lot of this chain is enough to turn Rossi into a fast and furious getaway vehicle. I pull up to the door with my foot ready to smash the accelerator. Nanette and GM Deborah ask, "Is there any way to schedule a ride for you to come back in 30 minutes? The thought of having a styrofoam container of fecal waffles and eggs next to my toxic pizza stash is beyond what I can bear. I blow a Dizzy Gillespie sigh. Well, I don't know. You can try. It's all up to the algorithm. Nanette and GM Deborah exit. I stare at the Little Caesar's boxes as if a dozen woodchucks were engaged in an orgy in my front passenger seat. I floor it. This is Garner's Ferry Road, not far from the VA hospital. Without a doubt, in the next several blocks, I'll spy. And there he is, Ralph the homeless bicyclist. Only tonight, he's not riding his bike, he's pushing it. His front wheel is reduced to a rim sans tube. I turn into the local CBS affiliate parking lot and hit the brakes. I honk my horn. Ralph pauses. I emerge from my vehicle. Hey, want some pizza, man? Ralph's eyes bulge out no less than mine would have if the Naomi Campbell poster on my once-upon-a-time teenager wall had turned to life. Ralph is rendered to a monosyllable. Mine? Yes, yours, all of it. Happy holiday. I run back to my vehicle. I actually have a pending fare. Ralph somehow manages to balance his treasure trove of grub on top of the dilapidated bicycle. He picks up his pace down Garner's Ferry. I know why. He squats with several other homeless folks behind the nearby Shell gas station. They're all going to feast tonight. Over the course of the next several hours, I deliver a number of passengers all across town. There is heavy rain. Not one other person thanks me for serving them on Labor Day. Nor do I receive so much as a single tip, other than the foodstuff generosity of Nanette and GM Deborah, which, in the end, became a much-needed meal for Ralph and his down-and-out companions. In the end, despite all the morons and dingleberries and assholes, it's the rough-around-the-edges, human but not clean-shaven moments like these that make my Uber nights worthwhile. People tell me I should quit this gig, but I can't, because I belong to this world, and it belongs to me. And that's from my book, Uber Nights, which you can find on Amazon, along with my 9 other books. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.